right, what's up, you dirtbags? My name is Luke Eggebraaten, and I could not be more excited to be here with you today on this episode number 108 with the man, Jon Conte, himself on the show. So excited to dive into it with him. I think you guys will really enjoy this episode. I first got to following Jon probably a couple years ago. It was probably around the same time I was introduced to James Doyle with Innovative. Jon, I saw, did a lot with James, and he was in the similar area. And so I started following Jon on Facebook, actually. And I don't have many Facebook recommendations that I would say, go follow this person, but Facebook can kind of be a cesspool sometimes. But Jon is one of those guys that is just an unbelievable guy, a great follow, and just a great friend. And when I was looking at our episode schedule and what should we have on the show, who should we have on the show, really wanted somebody that's been in the industry for a little bit. This is more of a landscaping, snow removal type of episode. Obviously, as we are in December and January here, we want to push a little bit more snow. We talk a little bit about the snow jobs on here and just trying to be a bit more relevant there. So Jon owns JC's Landscaping and just such an awesome guy. So very excited for you guys to dive in here on this beautiful day, wherever you're listening to the Dirtbags podcast. A couple updates for you, big updates. We have our giveaway. And so on episode 107, our guy, Charlie Huff, as you guys heard, sent me a picture and said, Luke, I think your audience would love a giveaway. I'm like, dude, I'm listening. I'm all yours. He sent me this picture of this EC500 Volvo excavator that was a Lego set. And I'm like, okay. So I'm zooming in, I'm looking at it. It's over 2,000 pieces and it's remote control. This is a $500 Lego set that is 18 and up for the age. And I'm like, dude, I absolutely love it. Let's do it. So Charlie, bless his heart. You guys know he's our insurance guy. Definitely reach out to him if you need help with your insurance. Charlie bought it. He sent me the picture and we are giving this away. So I have the winner ready to go. So we did the wheel spin. Anyone that shared that to their story in the last 2 weeks got entered to win. And without further ado, our winner of the $500 EC500 Volvo excavator remote control. You will be the coolest guy or gal on the block if you win this thing. None other. I can't wait to congratulate our winner, hopefully in person sometime. Dusty Neal with Dusty's Dirtworks. Actually a great friend of mine and a client of ours. So huge shout out to Dusty. Dusty will get this mailed out to you as soon as I get it. Should be getting in the next week or so, and then I'll mail it to you. And for anyone listening, go give Dusty a follow on Instagram at Dusty's Dirtworks. He's been a great friend of mine, follower of the Dirtbags podcast for a long time, and just a great, great guy. And so hoping I get some time getting to use that excavator and maybe help you build it. But so huge shout out to Dusty there with Dusty's Dirtworks on winning our EC500 giveaway, sponsored by the man Charlie Huff, our construction insurance legend. A couple other things. I got to go fishing this last weekend with James Stixma from Canadian Septic. Many of you know James. He is our 2024 guest host of the year. James lives up in near Vancouver, British Columbia, but closer to near Chilliwack. And so we went up north, my wife, Olivia, and I, and we were going to go to the Vikings Seahawks game, which that's another story. We got absolutely crushed. But the day before, James is like, hey, when you guys come up, we should go sturgeon fishing. And I'm like, absolutely. Like instead of just going to the games, like let's do a little extra. Let's get a little Canadian taste of what you guys do up here. So Liv and I flew up. It would have been Friday night, and we get there late. That James picks us up from the airport. Always great to see him. He's got, the big 1-ton pickup and Canadian Septic decals all over the truck, and picks us up. We hit the hay Friday night. And Saturday we get up and we go on the river, on the Fraser River, and we're sturgeon fishing. And shout out to our guy Brandon with River Wrangler Sport Fishing, and he was just unbelievable to work with and hang out with for the day. But it was us four. It was James, Danielle, Olivia, and myself, and then Brandon, our guide. And I think I knew what we were getting into. I was almost shaking with excitement. And it took some time, right? And so we're out at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and we're just staring at the rods and just waiting, staring. You'd start seeing it bob, and he's like, nope, it's the current. Just wait. And then, a few more hours pass, and now we're starting to think like, shoot, I hope we catch something. Like, obviously great to be out there, great to be on the water, absolutely gorgeous views. Would still be pumped even if we didn't catch anything. No big deal, because it was gorgeous and it was just great to be out there hanging out and being outside. But then I think it was rod number 4 started bouncing. Brandon runs up there. He sets the hook, and then he gives it to Olivia, my wife. And so the idea was like, okay, yeah, we'll have Liv do the first one, and then maybe Danielle will do the second fish, and then maybe I'll do the third, and then James will do the fourth, because he's caught a sturgeon before. And so Liv's reeling it in, and she's doing her thing, and it's not budging a whole lot. And so she's working at it, and then James is helping out at the end of the rod, just making sure we don't lose it. And we're reeling up all the other rods to give way and to make some space on the deck. And what I didn't expect was what happened is an hour and 40-minute battle between us four. So James, Danielle, Olivia, and myself, and this sturgeon. And we'll put some pictures here, Brandon. If you could put some pictures of the fish. We finally got it in, and it from the nose to the fork of the tail was about 10 feet. It measured, and from the nose to the end of the tail was about 11 feet 3 inches. Its waist, so all the way around, was about 60 inches, and estimated weight of about 600 to 650 pounds. It was the craziest thing I have ever experienced, and we are just so blessed and so grateful for one, a bucket list opportunity to get to go fishing for sturgeon. Like, for one, that is just something I've always wanted to do, something that not a lot of people get to do. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just a really cool experience. But then 2, to catch a sturgeon, but then 3, to catch one at the size we did was unbelievable. So huge thank you to Brandon with River Wrangler Sport Fishing. Huge thank you to James and Danielle with Canadian Septic, just being unbelievable friends of ours, a client of ours for a long time at Phaser, and just continuing to build memories together. So had to get that out of the way because it's been on my mind. I mean, I'm still thinking about that battle and then being able to catch that fish and seeing it up close and hauling it in. So excited for another trip, and we already got, working on something else to get on the books there. But a couple other updates for you guys. We now have a Phaser marketing phone number. So we need somebody to help us out with a jingle. If any of you guys listening want to come up with a song, we'd love to hear it. We bought the phone number 775 Dirtbag. So that is our new office number. You can call it, you can text it. Our guy Joe, he's our business development manager. He does all of our sales. He helps me out with the podcast. If you ever want to send any questions in that you want me to read off on the show, if you want to hear more about our pricing at Phaser, if you want to hire us on as a marketing team, text 775-347-8224. If you can't remember the number, it is 775 Dirtbag, DIRTBAG. So once again, that is 775-347-8224. That is our phone number. Shoot us a text, give us a call. Joe will be on the other line. With that, our Phaser marketing prices are going up January 1st. I'm recording this on December 4th. So for the next few weeks here, we do have our old pricing. It is at about $18.95 a month for our phase 1 program. And as you guys know, we only work with companies in the excavation, landscaping, or septic industry. So if you're looking to take your business to the next level, now is the best time to hire our team and get in, because you will save about $13,000 a year. So right now it's about a $3,500 startup fee and $1,895 a month for our entire team. You get the website, SEO, paid ads team, our full graphic design team, and the entire roadmap that we take all of our clients on. If you wait till January, we're still more than happy to bring you on. It's just going to be $3,000 a month. And that's just us adjusting to really our value that we're providing. We haven't increased our fees in 2 years. But that fee increase is only for new clients. So if you want to start, you can lock in the old rates today for life. And so that would be $1,895 a month. Shoot us a text at 775-347-8224. And just to sweeten the deal a little bit, if you shoot Joe a text and it's in December when you shoot him a text, let him know that Luke on the podcast said he would give you $1,000 off the startup fee. Only be running that in the month of December, and it's only for you guys listening to the podcast. So 775-347-8224. Shoot Joe a text if you guys are interested, and we'd love to work with you. So with that, I've been doing a lot of gabbing, talking about fishing, doing our giveaway. Shout out to Dusty. New phone number for Phaser. Without further ado, I think we are ready to get into episode number 108. Respect those along the way with the man himself, Jon Conte. Thank you guys so much for listening always. You guys are the best. If you're listening or watching on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, drop a comment, drop a follow, and drop a review if you can. That is how we monetize this thing. That is how we make money, in addition to our wonderful sponsors, Charlie Huff, Eljen, and Sledgehammer. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for enjoying the show. Thank you for sending me any feedback. Let's dive into it. Brandon, I'm going to have you cue the music here. Let's have a great day, and let's dive into episode number 108 with the man himself, Jon Conte. All right, what's up, you dirtbags? At this moment when I'm recording this, it is a beautiful Friday, November 14th. I know this episode has just dropped. I believe it's Friday, December 5th. We try and keep it relevant for you guys, and I am so excited for this one. This is episode number 108. Thank you guys for coming on this journey with us. So many of you have listened since day one with Aaron Witt as our first guest, and so many of you are new listeners just jumping in and diving deep. So as we're looking at our episode 108 guest, we'd love to do something a little bit around snow, and I'm super excited for this guest coming in. You heard me talk about him in the overview just a couple minutes ago, but what I was really excited about for this next guest is since 2004, he's been running his company, but what I love is how he treats his team and his clients. And what I'm really excited to dive into here is some of the roadblocks and things that he had to do to scale past those roadblocks and break through those glass ceilings, as we like to say. And it's not a get-rich-quick game. And so excited to dive into it with the man himself in the Dirtbag studio, Jon Conte, reigning out of Beacon Falls, Connecticut. How we doing, John?
Good. How we doing?
Dude, it's good to see you.
Glad to be here.
Finally made it happen. Man, so you're sitting in Beacon Falls, Connecticut right now. At the time of this recording, it's November 14th. Has snow started flying? What's it looking like?
No snow here yet. A little bit up north, Vermont area, they have a bunch of snow. Up in northern Connecticut, we had our first snow showers, but nothing. Still packing away at fall cleanups down here. So.
Gotcha. And so obviously you are the owner of JC's Landscaping. We'll have all your links in the description of this podcast. But John, would love to hear the start, the origin story, because 2004, if I'm doing my math right, you were in high school that year, right?
Yeah, so I started back in high school in obviously 2004. I graduated in 06. Just your typical, I guess, kid in high school cutting grass. landscaper, trying to do what the bigger guys are doing, and now trying to follow in everybody else's footsteps.
Yeah. So 2004, let's say you're a sophomore in high school, right? And what kind of student were you? How did you get into cutting grass yourself?
I was pretty a little rough on the edges in high school. I was never one to be inside, but I always wanted to be outside, playing in the grass at home. Um, you know, I used to have a quad with an ATV and plow the snow in the wintertime. I was that neighborhood kid driving the tractor up and down.
Yeah.
Trying to look for a couple lawns after high school before I got my license.
Yeah. So tell me about, do you remember your first job that you got, how much it was, how you got it? Like walk me through that first job.
Yeah. So that first job back in the day, lawns were, I was trying to get at least 25, $30 a lawn cut. And I was just not even no truck and trailer. I didn't have a license yet. I would just, pick up the neighborhood. I lived on a small community in Beacon Falls. A couple blocks, there's a bunch of houses. So I try to charge 30, $40 a lawn. You get a lot of kickback. When I was a little bit younger, 25, 30, and it's all cash in your pocket at that time. So it's, pretty relevant.
Yeah. And when you're that age, is that on top of having a job, or is that is your sole
That was my
focus?
only really job back in high school. I was focused on high school. Played football, did sports with our high school team. So I didn't have a lot of free time, but any free time that I had, I would, jump on the tractor, cut my own grass.
Yeah.
I would go plowing with my dad when I was a little kid, jump in the passenger seat, get out, shovel.
Now knowing what you know, and obviously the times have changed quite a bit since 2004, but 2025, let's say a high school sophomore or senior, juniors listening to this, what would you have done differently, or what would you recommend to them if they're looking to start in the lawn care landscaping industry?
Take business classes.
Yeah.
If you could get your hands on the business classes, high school. What I did, I did a community college out here in Connecticut. It was Naugatuck Valley. I was probably the only one that did a four-year college, supposed to be done in 2 years, but I did it when I could and took a bunch of business courses for it.
Man. And then, so you're doing these lawns and you started making obviously a little bit of money, but did the business really start taking off when you graduated, or what was?
So what happened was in high school, my junior year, we were allowed to drive, or, if you had your license, you could drive your car, get your parking spot. Obviously in the winter, I would drive I had a Ram, I don't know what year it was, single cab with a Fisher mount plow on it.
There we go.
That's what I drove to school because I would go home, plow a couple of driveways that I had at the time. And one of the school principals called me to the office, the plow contractor that we had at the high school. They couldn't get in to do their snow plowing during one of our snow events we had. So he asked if I would do a pass going down the main road at our school so all us students could get out. And I said, yeah, I don't really know what the liability is. I never been in that commercial aspect or been asked to. I just, 16, 17 years old with a plow truck and trying to plow some driveways. And I had to plow the school parking lot to get kids out.
Mm-hmm. Well, so was there red tape with the school parking lot, or was it pretty simple, or what were some of the restrictions?
It was, straight little hill, and they just asked if I could do a pass for the buses. I think they were either coming, we had early dismissal, so we were either coming up the hill or leaving the hill. So I did a couple passes up and down, and I was off on my way, and the contractor, I guess, ended up showing up.
Okay. So then you did get the following year's contract for snow?
Yeah. So when I graduated high school in 2006, that winter, obviously in the snow industry, contracts are always go out to bid. We retained that contract. I think it was like 2 years after we did it for 7 years. And then we got outbidded for that. And just our local school. We have an elementary school and then our high school.
Yeah. So then can you walk me through 06, 07, 08, and did the recession hit you at all? And then also maybe some revenue growth, like where were we at in those years after high school?
After graduating high school, yeah. I think from what I could remember, it was a little tough times. back in those building years under that recession. I was still probably just that one man operation, truck and trailer. I know I bought my first little zero turn mower as a Cup Cadet 42-inch. I used to call it the Bumblebee. Little deck, cut the lawns as normal. Summertime came around. That's when, after graduation, we started. Then I took Valley Community College to do some business courses. I knew I wasn't really an office person, so that's where I wanted to pursue the landscaping side of things.
And then JC's Landscaping today, 2025. Can you give us a snapshot of where you're at now? How many trucks you have going? Like what services you're providing? Where is JC's at right now?
So right now, currently, I'm the sole owner in it. We're an LLC. Right now, we staff 10 full-time employees. Currently have 7 trucks on the road, 3 mowing crews, 2 landscape crews usually, depending on what's going on. We're heavily involved in lawn maintenance. We don't do any fertilization. We sub that out to contractors in the area. Snow-wise, we do a couple residential clients that we handle all year for them, and then we just focus on our commercial municipality work. HOAs, condos. Industrial.
Is it pretty typical with HOAs and condos that they want to see the year-round contract of snow and landscaping?
Yeah, so it's been a little tough now, just because out here we've been leaning not towards us growing up as kids with heavy snow growing. Christmas we'd have snow out here by now, and we're lucky if we see your first snowfall sometimes before Christmas. Wow. But most of the HOAs I find down this way is they like the yearly contract because I think it's a set price. They know what they're getting. It's full year service. Even in the wintertime, our HOAs that we do, we'll go there in the winter, pick sticks up, do what we can to show that you're still constantly going there, doing something every week.
Yeah. And when you guys do snow, are you doing it? Do you have different triggers, or how does that work when you're
usually
pricing that up?
Most of ours, a lot of these high-end management companies, they send out these proposals for a 2-inch trigger. That's not going to fly over with a lawsuit that comes in your hand. So usually once the snow starts flying, we go out pre-treat the day before, the day of, depending on what the storm's going to be. Then once we get, that first initial push, we'll start rocking and rolling. Crews will come in, start going to all of our sites.
Yeah. And then I know we were talking a little bit about this before the show started, but what type of equipment are you guys using for snow? Are you guys using liquids right now? Are you using salt trucks? If you can walk through that
right now we're using plow trucks. We got Fisher polycasters on all the trucks. We're in the process talking to some vendors for some liquid application, possibly a spray rig on one of our trucks right now. We do use liquid in our snow raiders for our sidewalk machines. But we use a product called Magic Salt. That's what that's what our main focus is on for the application side with liquids. And then, liquids are based in with the snow raiders.
When it comes to wintertime and also summertime and materials and vendors, is that all in-house for you, or do you use different vendors for these different materials?
So I'm a distributor. I became a distributor for Magic Salt about 2 years ago out of Middlesex Ice Control. So I sell the salt for them. So obviously we supply it. We have a bin stocked. We try to load up other vendors and areas during the storm, usually 24 hours. But
gotcha.
So
when making that decision of becoming a distributor for Magic Salt, was that kind of a double whammy of an extra revenue stream and saving on cost for you, or how did you make that decision?
Yeah, I got introduced to Dave from the Groundskeepers of Connecticut. Obviously, I never knew him. We kind of met on social media through the Groundskeepers, and he has this product called Magic Salt, and the labor time, it saves a lot on at the end, once you're done treating all the roads and driveways, parking lots with the brine that's in there. and he talked to me one day about it, liked what I was putting down, and obviously, social media is a big aspect of everything nowadays. Um, I would always post his product for him, and he sat me down one day. He's like, "Would you want to sell it?" And I was like, I don't know if I want to get into that retail market, but I was like, shoot me what you got. If I could help you out, it's one hand washes the other.
Mm-hmm.
So he's, where my shop is, I don't have access to making bins. So down one of my buddy's shop, we built a big bin, able to store it there, and we've been selling it for the past 2 to 3 years now. And you get that good following once that product is out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been helpful all along. A lot of people think stay away from the straight salt or the sand salt mix just because of the mess it leaves, and salt, just eats up all the concrete. And
yeah, so, it can get pretty nasty.
Yeah, and over time, I think everybody's gonna go over to the liquids, some sort.
Yeah. I mean, the liquids and obviously huge shout out to the Snow Jobs podcast. Couldn't talk about this without
love those guys. Listen to them all the time.
Steve and Jeremy, and
the amount of snow they do and out there is crazy.
Yeah, they're amazing, and they sponsored our fundraiser too the last couple of years, and they're just great friends. And I know we're gonna have them back on the show here, and they're just amazing what they're doing for the snow industry specifically. Yeah. So when it comes to you mentioned you had 10 full-time team members. Does that change in the winter? Do you have part-time on call?
Yeah, we try to. Everybody always, that hard work is the shoveling aspect, or you don't know when you're getting a snowstorm. Mm-hmm. The weather changes 24 constantly. So like November to April, you're always looking at your phone, looking at the weather app, what's it going to do. But we always try to bring on extra shovelers if we could. The snow raiders and the machines kind of take the big labor portion out. Not, still got to snow blow and tighten up your corners and stuff like that. But if the machines could do the work, I feel like you get that better option of, whoever's willing to work. And
yeah. Is everyone kind of on an hourly rate and just on call, or is it salary?
Yeah.
Or it's hourly?
Yeah, no, there's some salary rolls in there.
Cool.
Hourly, during the winter, it's tough. I don't want to call somebody in, hey, we got to plow this, and it takes them an hour and you pay them whatever. Mm-hmm. You always want to try to do like a 4-hour minimum. Hey, go buy dinner for you and your family, if you have a family or not. Make it worth their while to want to come back, and hey, can you go salt this parking lot? Sure, I'll jump right on it. And try to be fair with them as always.
Yeah, I feel like it's the little things like that. You're not just come out for an hour and a half and send them home. And
a lot of that is a part of the big, you got the big corporations, and then you got us little guys that, you see that eye to eye with somebody than over a computer or a laptop.
Yeah. What do they call it? The clown show?
Yeah, probably clowns and everything else underneath the sun.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. I don't want to cause a strife here, but do you prefer snow over mowing or vice versa? Do you prefer either or?
So I was growing up as a kid, I was always that winter guy. I love snowmobiling up north. It gets harder to do that now with obviously owning a business. You got to be on snow watch. But if I get a chance, I'll do, shoot up north to snowmobile a little bit. If I had to say prefer wise, probably snow.
Yeah.
I just love the winter months. I love the cold, especially that first initial one, because it's usually not too cold down here. So it's usually only on the grass surfaces, so you could kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
But then, you get that first 2-3 inch storm, and your head is just focused and going 10 different directions. Which way to go? Who's on this? Somebody's plowing this parking lot for the first time. What's going to happen is, I'm constantly on my phone or my headset in the truck calling somebody and making sure everybody's all right. But once you get that first initial push out of the way, I think it's kind of coast from there. But you never know. You get those snow squalls that come in, and quick half hour could change a lot of.
Yeah. I know I've been listening to the Snow Jobs quite a bit, and with the last few years, or let's say since you started the business, has the technology changed based on how you track the weather and how you plan for it, or it has? If you can touch on that, what do you currently use?
So we use, it's called the Weather Pros. Rob, he's on Facebook as well.
Shout out the Weather Pros.
Yeah, the Weather Pros are good guys out there. He started that app, and it's been phenomenal for us.
Cool.
He's grown it a lot. Every day we get it now, starting in November 1st, I think it is. On my phone, it comes in as, JC's storm update. We'll get like a full week report, what's going on, if there's any chances of snow. And you can call them on the hotline. Hey, do you see snow in the forecast? What's going on? You get your full summer report after. They give you a couple towns territory. Beacon Falls got 3.5, so we keep that into the system. But
and in the app, do you keep like a radius of your service
so you give
area?
them a couple towns, like where obviously they can't track everywhere, but you give them a couple towns local, and that's where you'll get those reports for. But overall, I think it's just a portion, Connecticut, then you'll get your snow map. The Upper Valley is totally different. You can see snow in Litchfield, and Beacon Falls will be pouring rain out.
Oh, is it that? So Litchfield, because that's only 30 minutes apart?
30 minutes, half hour, probably somewhere around there.
Wow.
Elevation dependent, but even in Beacon Falls, I've seen it before when we plowed the schools. It'll be snowing up at top of the hill, and at the bottom it'll be changing over the rain downtown, just in with the elevations climbing the hill.
Yeah, man, I know I went out to Snow Alliance in Pennsylvania and got to go see James with Innovative and Jay with Ultimate and all the guys out east there. How often do you see those guys, or how often do you collaborate with other guys in the industry?
I haven't collaborated with a lot of them, probably mostly James Doyle. We always try to keep in contact once a week, every other week, or whatever it is, once a month, shoot them a text, hey, what's going on? Social media is always good for that. You hit them up on somewhere on one of the aspects, but you always try to keep in contact with whoever you could.
Yeah. How important has that been in your business growth, and maybe not growth, but sustainability? Like, you've been in business for a long time. I see it. A lot of people see your sustained success, I would say, of just, you have a great brand, a great company. It feels like you take care of your people. How important have those relationships been to getting to where you're at?
That's a big thing on my end. I always say respect goes a long way. And that's how I grew up in business, was with respect.
All right, you dirtbags, we got to thank Eljen. What an incredible sponsor of the Dirtbags podcast. As you know, for over 4 decades, Eljen has been leading the charge in innovative, reliable, and engineer-friendly septic solutions. One of my favorite things about Eljen and their whole team, as you heard on our 4th of July episode with Drew Nicolai, they are big, big supporters of our veterans and bringing those veterans into civilian life after they've been deployed. Thank you, Eljen, for all that you do for the Dirtbags podcast, for all that you do for the wastewater industry, and of course, for all that you do for the veterans of this country. Next on our list, and please reach out to Eljen, eljen.com, and of course, at Eljen Corporation on Instagram. Let them know you heard them on the Dirtbags podcast. They really, really appreciate it, and we do as well. We got to thank the man, Charlie Huff. Shoot him a text if you need somebody you trust to grow your business and be there for your insurance needs in construction specifically. 435-764-4833 is his number. Text him or call him. He's the absolute man. He does Phasers insurance. He does half of our clients, all of their insurance. And a lot of you guys listening have reached out, and I know a lot of you have had amazing things to say about him. He's an absolute dog, and he is the man when it comes to construction insurance. That is Charlie Huff, 435-764-4833. Give him a shout. You guys probably didn't see my hat because it is camouflage. This is Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for sponsoring the Dirtbags podcast. Will, Dr. Wickham, the whole team has been absolutely incredible to work with. We have some exciting things in line with them. We have potentially an episode I'll hint at of the Knights at the Brown Table coming up, and we are doing so much for the industry with Sledgehammer. And thank you for sponsoring this episode. Thank you for giving us some sweet hats, some gear. We're going to do a big Sledgehammer giveaway with their gear. So Sledgehammer, huge thank you for supporting the Dirtbags podcast and all that you do in driving the sustainability and the innovation of the wastewater industry. To learn more about Sledgehammer and how you can become a network partner with them, go check out their fancy pants new website, sledgehammer.net. They have all their information on there. And also you can give them a follow on Instagram at Sledgehammer Group Ltd. They have an incredible social media as well, but shoot them a message and let them know you love what they're doing and you're following them on the Dirtbags podcast in this speed round ad read session. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed that speed round because we're going to get you back to the entire episode. No more ad reads as long as you guys reach out to them, let them know, hire us on at Phaser, talk to Sledgehammer, talk to Eljen, talk to Charlie, listen to the Dirtbags podcast.
You always want to have somebody that you can call and rely on. Hey, something broke down. Can you lend me this? Or, what's your thoughts on this aspect of the business? Mm-hmm. I mean, feedback is feedback, and it's a big part of our network.
Yeah. Do you guys ever compare, what are people charging? What are people bidding?
All the time, because you want it in the industry. I feel like it's a cutthroat industry everywhere. Sure. I mean, anybody could go pick up a mower and a truck, but you build that business and, your $20 lawns are long gone.
Yeah.
You can't even fill a truck or a mower for that price anymore.
Yeah. What would you say is the reason that people stay and work with JC's Landscaping on the client side, but also on the team member side as your employees?
Client-wise, we've kept a lot of retention, I think, just because it's me answering the phone, maybe. A lot of people, I think, view it different. It's my cell phone number, my business line. I have nobody answering it. If, they call JC Landscaping and I missed the call, I'm calling them back. Mm-hmm. The amount of text message I get day and night, whatever hour it is, I've gotten text, hey, you cut my lawn at 3:30. I'm just starting to wake up. Yeah, we'll be there, 7 a.m. But client-wise, it's tough. I think you build that relationship for somebody who's so long, and it could go over to the automated system, or even if you got an office staff. I think ownership is a lot for myself. I take every call. I never wanted to. You always want to see those goals. Oh my God, this guy's got 5 office staffs, a manager. This, there's different aspects of what they grow.
Yeah.
For us, we do a lot of lawn maintenance, so it's irrelevant to a company that does massive excavation, and they need those people in the office. And I feel sometimes I'm overwhelmed, but then when you get off that phone call, then you're like, wow, this is why I wanted to take that phone call, because I feel like somebody could have lost that job.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm curious too, because since you're taking all the phone calls, how often do you get the client that's upset that you can really remedy the situation and take care of it, or really make it not as big of a deal for them? Like, how often do those come up where you can kind of make a bad decision or a bad situation into a good situation?
Yeah, I mean, it happens a lot. One of the bad situations was I got married last year, November 15th. So tomorrow will be my 1 year.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks. I always have my phone on me. My wife, she knows that. So our wedding, I'm looking, where are the guys? What are we doing? I had a text come in, hey, you coming today? I said, well, unfortunately, I'm about to get married in about 20 minutes. So I'll probably be there tomorrow. And they're like, oh my God, why do you have your phone on you? I said, well, I still got to run a business. And, people laugh at that today. But just the little things, Then you try to turn around, and obviously you want to apologize, but you get the good with the bad. I mean, you get your bad clients, and you can't suit everybody's needs. And sometimes you say, sorry, I can't do that. There's always somebody else that will pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess that's what I want to ask too, is how often do you put your foot down of just, hey, these are the prices. It is what it is. Like, you're probably just not a good client for us.
Yeah. I mean, you're not a good fit. There's, where when I was cutting lawns by myself, I could maybe do that job at that price, but now I got to feed in, the factors of insurance, cost of fuel, employees, workman's comp, everything is all included in, that $200 drop to the kid that just started out in high school, like it was me, 2004, 2005. That's great for him. $200 is $200, but $200 on a company's end is totally different. It's hard to justify, and you could want to help people out as much as you can, but they also have to see, the understanding on our side too is.
Yeah. So it sounds like heavy in lawn care, but you did mention you have 2 landscape crews. Can you talk a little bit about what services you're doing on the landscaping side?
Yeah, so on the landscape side, we do a lot of plantings, mulch, pruning. We do a couple lawn installs. Our main focus is, we're a big grass cut company. Our HOAs, lawn maintenance. If we go to a residential house, usually we do their mulch, we do their flowers, plantings, trimmings. We do some medium, small size, a lot of smaller scale size landscape projects, small lawn installs. But then we get the big lawn installs where, you contract your buddy. Hey, you want this job, here you go. Let's tag team it up. I don't got the equipment. Do it up. I know you do a good job. Take care of it and do it. That's what in the landscape and grass side of it, that's where I think you really rely on a lot of people in the field that are, you could call and say, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Right now, we're in fall. We just had to go suck up a pile for a buddy that his leaf vac broke down. So sure, we'll go do it for you. No big deal.
Yeah.
It takes 20 minutes. It goes a long way in our industry. You never know.
Yeah. Just taking care of your people.
Yeah. Your friends that help you build your company, they help, you help them build theirs and you work together.
Yeah. So as you look at your company right now, you mentioned 3 mow crews, 2 landscape crews, 10 full timers, 7 trucks. What does JC's landscaping look like? Let's say in 2030, like 5 years from now, what do you expect it to potentially look like?
Looking into the future, that's a tough one. You always want to grow and scale. I like those. Just keep a level maintaining of it. Keep the clients close. Keep your employees closer. Obviously we always want to grow. Once you grow and keep growing, then you got to take that next step. And what the next step is right now, I don't really, I don't have a full next step into that future of, do you want 30 employees? Do you want 100 employees? Then, there comes a lot more payroll, a lot more could be aggravation, and all the work has to be there as well.
Yeah. And even at, 10 full-time employees, like that's a big company.
It's got its good days and bad days. It's Friday, paydays there. It's exciting for them. And you're like, geez, you gotta make sure you got that money in your account, but also it's the work that you provide to make that money too. And that's why we work hard all week.
Yeah. And there's a piece of that too, because I feel that as well, where when it's payday, everyone's excited. And I truly,
you hear the stories. I was with my cousin last night having dinner. He's like, oh yeah, I love 60, 80 hours work week. I'm like, yeah, man, like it's great. But right now for me, no, that's, then you got the overtime play. But on the employer side, it's a lot, can make a lot of money wherever you're working.
Yeah. Do you guys run a lot of overtime?
Usually in the summer we do. Springs are crazy. The fall is a little bit crazier because we're in that time period. Like a lot of us, we say we're in the fourth quarter now. Once November hits, because could face snow. We got a lot of rain in the fall, wind. So you want to get those cleanups done. Usually by the Christmas, if we could.
Yeah.
You always want to get like your first initial rounds done probably in November. It depends when the leaves fall too down here. It's been pretty dry. So a lot of the leaves drop pretty quickly. But usually November, December is where you kind of stop doing the landscaping side of it for the overtime in that, area. Spring and fall are pretty crazy. Summer, it gets, hot, dry. So I think we have a couple of shorter days or weeks where, the lawns go dormant and, you cut back a little bit.
Yeah. Would you say the busiest time in your business, and this can be from all aspects, would be the fall, do you think? Or winter?
I think fall to winter. It just takes a lot of time, from, coming into summer. right around Labor Day is where you start thinking about snow probably. You got all your bids, you're going out to properties, checking them. What's this? Or, we have to add a truck, add another fuel or plow, sander, do you need a crew? Then you're trying to start servicing all your equipment.
Yeah.
We had I think it was 2018, we had that snowstorm back in October that kind of threw a lot of people for the loop.
In October?
Yeah,
wow.
Halloween.
What did you guys get? Do you remember what you got on that day?
I think we had about 4 or 5 inches heavy wet snow. We lost power for a couple days.
Wow.
The northern side of Connecticut, obviously, I think they got more snow up there that way, but it was pretty unexpected. They were calling it all week, but as in the forecast, it could change within a matter of minutes or days. So we were like, yeah, who's going to get snow in end of October?
Yeah. So, John, I know as we're going along here, I know a big piece I really wanted to touch on is you're such a people person, but your involvement in your community. Can you talk a little bit more about what you do in your community and how you've been doing it?
Yes, I grew up in Beacon Falls, born and raised, and I just try to give back a lot to the community where I feel that in my community, that's where I started my business with my core group of, 10 accounts or whatever it was, 5, 6 accounts, lawn accounts. I do a lot in the community. Try to help out the town as much as we can. Usually we donate, our work for the islands that we do downtown Beacon Falls. In Beacon Falls, that's where I kind of started the business, and it kind of not exploded over time, but every year you get a couple new people, and then they're all in Beacon Falls, and hey, let's call John for the grass or this, can you do this? Can he loan us this piece of equipment, or donate his time to do this. A couple of years we would donate. Obviously we donate a lot of time. Whatever it is in town, if I could do it, you're always there and willing to help your town out.
Yeah. Why do you think that's so important to you?
Hey, you got to live there every day. I mean, it's pretty cool. Like growing up, I'm like, man, I wish I could, plow that school. And then, my senior year, I'm getting asked to, plow that school, or you wish you could cut that lawn driving by your house every day growing up as a kid. And hey, now we cut that lawn, or vice versa. If that customer would call you, let me know if you need a hand, give me a shout. Hey, John, this is, Joe. I'm over at this side of town. Can you come over, give me a hand, or take care of my property? And you just got that homebody community. And there's a lot of small businesses in Beacon Falls. We try to always feed back to each other for work because Beacon Falls is a small town. Everybody talks and you do good work and try to keep it local.
Yeah, I feel like it's no fluke when you see a small business successful in a small town like Beacon Falls. People know who you are
and where you're born, raised, and it's a good outreach. You go to an event, you're talking to this person or your best buddy, and everybody knows you, but everybody knows each other and everybody talks.
Yeah, everybody talks. That can be a good thing or a bad thing, right?
No, it could be a good thing and bad thing.
That's what I mean. Yeah, and that's why your reputation is so important.
I mean, you're not going to always please everybody in town, but you always hear the bad stories, you hear the good stories, but you just got to shrug your shoulder. Keep moving forward. Yeah,
man, give me a few of the biggest challenges you've had in running and growing this business for the last, 20 years. Like what would have been some of the big challenges you've had in growing JC's Landscaping?
Just taking the next step on what you want to do, whether you go from, that 10 lawns and one truck, and then you grow a truck, then, here comes a truck payment. So each step is always different to get acclimated to on what you're doing. It could be good and bad. It really puts a burden on you sometimes if, you think you're growing too fast at one point. I think I was a little bit bigger on some parts with employees, but then I kind of started scaling back because I'm like, I don't want to be that person say, oh my God, John's got 20 guys. Well, lo and behold we're not making any money. So it's, what's the point just to say you have 20 guys? I'd rather have 5 guys. Yeah. This is my crew. This is what we do every day. And go out and get those jobs done. There's a lot of people around that think like that. They want to be, I got 20 trucks or whatever the case may be. Is they always think the biggest is the baddest, but if you keep it small, it's the same aspect. As long as you get the job done and you got a good following, it really turns. I think it turns the table.
Yeah, for some reason, man, there's a lot of people out there that they tie success in with how many employees you have, and I don't know what it is. And
and I think anybody's successful as much as one person. It could be that one man guy. I know plenty of guys that cut grass full time by themselves with their truck trailer, and they can make as much profit as anybody else could.
Yeah, and I think it's just how do we measure success, and what I really loved is
Josh, it too. It's
100%. And Josh Montana, episode number 105, what he said stuck with me of, we don't want to be the big fish eating the small fish. We want to be the fast fish eating the slow fish.
Yeah.
And I really like that because I think it teaches us how to be innovative and how to adapt and how to make sure that we're continuously getting better. But it doesn't always mean more and bigger and more team members, more employees, but how can we become better, more efficient, and really focus on what we're doing and who we're doing it for,
and keep the same quality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point. Did you ever see your quality dip as you grew, and where you had to kind of come back in to the
crews? Because we always had that threshold mark, like how many lawns you want to cut in a day, or what's the goal for it? And we could cut 10 lawns, or it depends on the day. Like on Thursday, Fridays, we do a lot of our HOAs, the industrial parks. So those are bigger accounts. They take a lot. Some of the higher end residential clients that got those $200,000 patios they want to entertain on the weekend. Of course, they're going to want their $200 lawn cut looking beautiful for the weekend. So you can't cut them on the Monday. It's just quality, put where the quality is. I think you don't want to rush through it all. To say, hey, my crew, we did 70 lawns today. I don't know how you did that, but good luck.
Yeah. So quality always has to be number one. And as you've grown too, there's certain things where when you have new crews, you need somebody to lead that crew. So how have you found these leaders to lead the crew to make sure that you're holding the JC's standard?
Just by, I think when you hire new employees, you can tell what they're really about within like their first 2 weeks. And obviously they get settled in and they're still providing what they did day one or wherever they came from. You see their work. A lot of our guys, they've been 6, 7, 8 years, some of them. Luckily I have a good group. We're a great, small little group. And I think over time, each year we find something different to nitpick on, or whether it's the grass cutting or the landscaping. We do a lot of our mulch installs and plantings and edging. Some people use the edgers, Echo Power Edger. We like to do it by hand. So, of course, it's going to take you a little bit long. It comes out a little bit nicer, but you get that extra little quality in. Some people enjoy it. Some people, they don't care if you use the gas powered tools. But, for the most part, we do a lot of handwork with our pruning side and mulch.
Gotcha. And the lawn care and landscaping industry, it can be a lot of recurring revenue. And as you were talking about the day of the week that you do the cuts, is your schedule pretty set in the summer, or is there a lot of change that happens?
It's pretty set for the mowing side. Unless, obviously we get some dry weather, we got to skip some lawns, but for the most part, come springtime, we see who signed up on our system, try to acclimate where they got to be for the days of cuts from last year. If they leave a note in their system, hey, could we be cut on a Thursday? Try to group them in by the town. But usually our mowing routes are Monday through Friday. We cut 5 days a week, unless we have to cut on a Saturday because of a rain day. But mostly, Mrs. Jones is getting cut Monday, 10 a.m. I'll get a text, hey, your guys aren't here at 10 o'clock. What happened? Well, I just had a mower breakdown, so we'll be there within a half hour or something. Luckily, our shop is located in Beacon Falls as well. So, if I'm still around somewhere in the area, I can shoot to the shop, grab whatever we need, or go get a part. Get us back up and going.
And just take care of it. And
yeah,
I was going to mention this. I'm sure you've never had a breakdown of any piece of equipment ever in your 20 years. I just had to
pick up an engine harness for one of our mowers. You change 2 coils in to work for a good week, and then boom, the coil let go. So now we're going to be changing out an engine harness. And of course, it's fall season, so that's one of our main mowers for the bagging system.
Yeah,
and now it's down, but look, we've got other machines that keep us up and going. But once we get that up and going, should be fixed hopefully soon this weekend.
Yeah. Who does all of your service work? Do you guys do it in-house or do you?
Yeah, most of it's in-house. Good friend growing up of mine, Steve, wouldn't call him, he doesn't work. I mean, he works probably with me full time, but he comes down to our shop at night, works on all of our stuff. He's a good mechanic around for trucks, vehicles, machine, blow power equipment, tools. And then we use Chatfield power equipment up in Southbury. That's where all of our Skag mowers came from. Right now we're running all Skag, and we got a couple of Wright mowers as well. But if we could keep it in-house, obviously you always want to keep it in-house because you get the parts pretty fast and get that turnaround overnight or something.
Yeah, you can really take a little bit more control over it.
Yeah.
Speaking of equipment and even new technology, are you going out to any of these trade shows like Equip Expo or anything?
I've never been down to Equip Expo. I'd love to go, but I'm not a big flyer, so I have to drive down there. But
there you go.
Yeah, no, I see them all on Facebook. You always watch their videos and try to keep up with the new trends that all the autonomous mowers are going to be coming out probably within the next couple of years. They already started, so keep up with all the data.
So let's talk about that for a little bit. What is your thoughts on the autonomous mowers? We haven't actually talked about it at all on the podcast, but curious to hear your thoughts and where the industry is going as a whole.
I mean, AI is probably going to be taking us over pretty soon within the next 20 years, so we got to get used to it. They're good. I mean, couple Exmark, they got one out. Couple of people I know, they have them, the smaller versions of them, but they're all electric, and they're just like when you go to the grocery store, you're doing self checkout, and I think the quality's there, starting to come around. We'll probably eventually, see it full blown out here in Connecticut at some point.
So, help me with that. Does it have to be a simple yard to cut? Is it more volume?
Yes, I think it's all based on like the geofencing of it, the GPS systems. It's tough because we don't own any yet. We watch the demos and stuff. I think it does like one pass. It gets to know the routes. It goes back to its little robotic home. Hey, it's set for a timer on Tuesday, 10 o'clock. It's going out to cut the lawn. It's pretty neat to watch. But I mean, they're expensive. Then you got to incorporate that. Where you're going to put that piece of machine? Who's going to pay for that expense on it? And that's going to be the new market. They already started down in our lower Fairfield County where they're banning gas-powered tools, and you got to incorporate that in with your pricing.
Yeah, and I've actually seen it too. I think it was on Shark Tank. Somebody listening can fact check me, but I believe there's a system now where it's the autonomous mower, but there's landscape companies that are offering that as a service. So the landscape company is paying for the equipment and the housing and the subscription and everything, but then they pass on the cost to the client and then of course upcharge it. So I wonder if that's going to be the future of some lawn and landscape companies, is a service of having autonomous mowers, because there's still going to be breakdowns. There's still going to be calibrating and everything like that.
Those batteries in the mowers, they got to be pretty costly, expensive to fix.
Yeah. And even with I would assume trimming and planting and pruning, everything.
I mean, we got a couple on the electric side. We use a couple of hand tools that are electric, and we love them in the summertime because they're sweating 90 degrees out. There's no fumes. Hit the trigger and the electric motor's rolling.
Are you mainly electric and hand tools?
It's probably 50-50 right now. Okay. We don't have any electric blowers, but we got a bunch of hedge trimmers that are electric. Smaller equipment like that where you keep the batteries at the shop, charge them up.
Yeah, there you go. What, John, so I know as we were talking earlier too, you mentioned obviously the Snow Jobs podcast. You're listening to some podcasts there. Any other podcasts that you're listening to? Any other books you're reading that is maybe somebody listening that only listens to the dirt bags? Anything else that you're seeing, listening to, or reading out there that you'd want to recommend to our listeners?
Yeah, so I just try to jump around on different podcasts when I'm driving or even at night. Shoot a podcast on James Doyle. I listen to
Yes.
mostly his podcasts. They're all pretty up to date, intriguing on same growth as we all started and snow jobs. See what they're going on with the winter out there. Just you hear different stories from different business owners or even just people that work in the field and what they're doing. That's I think how you keep growing. Listen to somebody else's success story, what they're doing. What works for them could work for us, or it might not work for us. Who knows? But you got to try it.
Yeah. And I think that's so important, right? Is the listening to what other people are doing. Yeah. And yes, in your local market, but also outside your local market. And then what can we bring into Beacon Falls? What can we bring into our customers? How can we continue to get better?
No, definitely. You always want to see some kind of change. And, like I said, we incorporate some electric stuff. And, you listen to these podcasts or watch the videos of the Equipped Expo and, what's new, what's not working. Well, if this battery dies sooner or later, somebody else could try it out. There's all different tools for a different job, but
yeah. And I just want to give a shout out to James's podcast officially, but the Worksite Wisdom podcast. So he started this, I think it was coming up maybe on a year now, but James has always been on all the podcasts. He's been on the dirt bags now, I think 3 times, been on Snow Jobs a bunch of times and all the other ones. So it's really cool to see him and Luke Pepper kind of create this podcast together, like in person. Yeah. And dude, it's awesome. I know, especially you, see a lot of familiar faces on there. And even
Luke,
for me,
Luke, he filmed my engagement. So yeah, he set it up, him and his wife, Kate, and he did my engagement. We filmed it all and
no kidding.
Did the whole drone video for me. Yeah.
That's amazing. They're, shout out to Luke Pepper Creative, and what they're doing out East. Anytime we have, a client in the industry out East, we try and refer them to LPC because they know how to navigate a construction site and properly shoot media, drone footage, photos, and that's just something we don't do. So having partners like that is
he's
huge.
That guy that'll get it. He does all James videos. He did a couple videos for us a couple of years back. He's at that rainstorm or that snowstorm shooting that video, -20 out, and getting all the drone footage going.
And I didn't look at the official press release, but I saw his post that he was overseeing the storm chasing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Season 2. So I need to ask him about that.
Yeah, that should be pretty interesting.
Yeah. So I think with Luke Pepper Creative, Dirt Duck Media, and then I don't know if they're shooting one of them or all of them or if he's overseeing it, but I need to give him a call after this and see what the deal with that is.
He's good. There's not many, or I shouldn't say there's not many. There's a lot of people that do it, but he's, I think, one of the top tiers up in Connecticut, or, he does a lot. And I remember talking to him. He was up in Vermont shooting.
Yeah. I told him he's got to go nationwide so we can start using them for more clients.
For the right price, they'll go anywhere. I'm sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, he did my engagement photos and stuff when I proposed to my wife. We were down at a Fairview tree farm down in Shelton, and it took us like 2 to 3 days to set it all up. It was a Christmas hayride, and him and Kate, they were out there capturing the videos, and he was texting me, "Where are you? Where are you?" I'm like, "You're coming around the corner," and then there they are. And Brittany, my wife, was like, "Oh, oh my God, there's Luke. Yeah, well, let's go. We got, I gotta get engaged right now." And so it was pretty awesome.
That's amazing. What I got to ask too. So tomorrow, as the day of this recording, November 15th is your anniversary. What has the first year of marriage been like?
Oh, it's been great. She's awesome. It's hard to connect with somebody that knows what you do in the field as a business owner.
Yes.
Like my past was pretty tough to find somebody that will let me work 7 days a week. But I mean, she does a lot of our groundskeepers stuff now. She's the new director. This past year, she took over. So it's pretty neat to see somebody combined in the field that what you're doing every day and trying to teach them now. And obviously, it's my wife now, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
So when you say groundskeepers, is that in your team or with the association?
That's what the Connecticut Groundskeepers of Connecticut. She's the director. I was the past president for 2 years. And then she came on board with us as the director.
Gotcha. And you are no longer president, right?
Yeah. So it's just a 2-year term.
Gotcha.
If I could stay, obviously I would, but they want let somebody else take a new role, and it lets me do. I mean, obviously I'm very active in it still. Just a good little organization to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's the director. Yeah, it's just 1 year's coming up on tomorrow, and I'm not the type of fighting guy, so it's been a smooth sail. I mean, you always butt heads one way or another, but
yeah,
I guess when you find the right one, you got to keep them around for a while.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I can definitely tell you're a even keel, smooth talker. I mean, I love it.
Let me go to work, come home, and I'll do the rest.
Yeah. And she's also helping out too, I believe, with some social media stuff with you guys.
Yeah. That's what she does. Her full-time job. She gets the luxury work from home. So I was always a big Facebook guy, and then she's like, "Oh, you need an Instagram?" Or I was like, "Yeah, well, that's your role. I don't. Yeah, I'm not a very good technological person with the iPhones. But in today's world, you gotta find the IT person to post all the reels. I still think on my Facebook, I laugh all the time. I don't think I've ever posted a story yet, and I want to keep it like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, you're crushing it though on Facebook. And I also want to mention this for everyone still listening. Go give Jon a follow on Facebook. It's JonConte. Great Facebook follow. There's not. I'll say this. There's not many great Facebook follows because it's a lot of garbage. And dude, I've been following you for the last few years, and just the way you interact with your customers, your community, but also your business advice that you give on there. I feel like you're really in a good groove of updating people and giving good advice and just showing kind of the under the hood of your business.
No, I appreciate that. And that's always like the hardest thing. I think, people, you own a landscape company, I own a landscape, they think that you're always going to be in competition with people, but it's in that market of respect, and you give a fair price and they're going to choose your buddy, but there's no competition needed. There's enough work out there for all of us.
Yeah, dude, there really is. And
that's how you find a lot. I mean, I follow a lot of people on social media, you interact with them, and, there's some people on there over the fall. One of our switch and goes, we were trying to build our leaf box, and I talked to a kid now, Luke, also up in like northern Connecticut. If I saw him tomorrow, I would have no clue, but I mean, I talk to them just about every day just because we've been going back and forth, or somebody will reach out to me. Hey, Jon, I saw this on your Facebook post. Can you help me out with this? And you get, excited about it. Because I look up to a bunch of people, and it's good to know that somebody's looking up to you and watching what you're doing. As I'm doing the same thing virtually, watching somebody a little bit better than me or a little bit higher. We're on the same level. And you just incorporate that in.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, just kind of leading the way and working with others and just helping each other out.
Yeah, and you get these people that I think, we're heavy into that lawn maintenance side where I don't do any hardscape, tree work. I just refer it out to people, and if we post it on social media and make sure you tag them, and you get a lot of the unknown around here where, this, person just installed this patio, but realistically, they never picked up a hammer in their life, and they're out there posting this beautiful patio where just be upfront about it. It's no harm, no foul.
Yeah. And you bring up a great point too. And it's so easy. And so it's completely free to just tag these other companies that you're collaborating with and you're working with and give them a shout out, because we like to call it the power of reciprocity, of doing unto others what you want to happen to you. And so in a simple term of like, let's say JC's Landscaping as an example. Of course, you'd love for people to engage with your page, comment, share, shout you out and all this stuff. And so a good way to get that is to do that to other companies and, shine the light on them.
And they're going to see it too.
Yep. And you do such a good job of that. And also it makes it bigger than just you and bigger than just your company. Like this is a whole network of companies coming together to deliver your world-class service, we'll say.
I would say you want to surround yourself with good people.
Yeah. I love that. Man, I know we're getting close to our time here, but a couple other things here. When it comes to getting clients, right? So getting new clients coming in, where do they typically see you, find you? Is it you reaching out? Is it them reaching out to you? What does that look like?
Yeah. So, I mean, I wasn't never really technical, on the computer and with all these softwares. One of the guys that I follow on Facebook, Northern Snow up in Canada, Stefano, that kid puts out a pretty massive tractor boys plowing business up there with all the tractors, and you just watch his videos. I don't know what software they were using, but just on the software aspect, I was never big into it. I always did pen and paper. And this past 2 years, we started incorporating a system called Jobber, which helped me a lot. Track what we're doing, the clientele. We could do our, the blast emails, do like a constant contact. On the client side, it's always, that advertisement in town or, they see your number. I think I've had the same number probably since I was in high school. Mm-hmm. So they know your number, they're going to call, but, trying to retract them I think it's just part of all your work. And, we try to incorporate new things. Like I said, we did the Jobber system, which helped myself out a lot. Not freed up a lot of time, but just to keep track of who you had in the past, or if you lost a client, when did you lose them? If they're not there in 2024, they were there in 25, or you gain some back.
Yeah, and just having a pipeline, right? So Jobber is a great CRM.
Yeah,
and
it's been good.
Yeah, and it's many people listening to don't have a CRM, and that's okay. But it's once you have one, you can never go back.
And I think that's one of the next, like we talked earlier on, is one of your steps of trying to grow. Is I never wanted, like I said, I never wanted to use that, but you got to incorporate it into your system every day. Where stamps were 20 cents and I was sending out 200 invoices a week, and it adds up, and you can't charge the customer 20 cents for the stamp. They're going to say, just send me a bill over line. Let me pay it online. And you get mostly credit cards now. We send an invoice out, you get the thing on your phone, this Mrs. Jones just paid the bill within 2 minutes,
2 minutes, man. It's
and
the
your
best
bank
thing.
account, you're going to go to the bank, and you still get the old folks, paper check. I still like writing checks because what's coming in, what's coming out. But the times are changing where I think a lot of the post office side stamps are getting expensive. So you got to find that way to get that new system up and going.
Yeah. And a big thing too is convenience. Like, hey, I'll pay it right now.
Yeah. I mean, even like when we do a quote, I'll send the quote over to Brett at home whenever she could get to it. Hey, send this guy a quote, he just approved it. Didn't even leave his driveway yet.
Yeah, right.
Minutes,
Exactly.
Already approved. Let's schedule it. Do it up next week. But then you get feedback too, where some, we still do probably maybe 20%. We send out our bills by mail, but most of our invoicing now we do, our landscape projects. We bill, right after, all the mowing and stuff. We do like every 2 weeks, and then we do one at the end of the month. Mm-hmm. So the client doesn't really have to see that big bill at the end of the month, split it up a little bit.
Yeah. Do they pay the bill each time, or is it set up as a recurring charge?
Some of them have their card on file, where they just go onto their customer portal and they could pay it right then and there.
Yeah. I gotcha. Man, Jon Conte.
Yeah.
JC's Landscaping, episode number 108. Lastly, as we wrap up this episode, man, and thank you for being on the Dirtbags podcast. how can, people listening, how can they reach out to you, get any advice, ask any questions? What is the best way for them to reach out to you? And then
my phone's on 24/7.
Oh,
My number, Facebook Messenger. We do a lot of networking on there. There's people that you just reach out on there. My cell phone's all over my Facebook. It hasn't changed, like I said. So
there we
anybody
go.
can call, text, I'll answer within a couple minutes, probably, if I'm not on the job.
Here we go. And we'll get that phone number and we'll put it in the description of this episode. And so shoot Jon a text here, you guys. You are so responsive even to me, and it's been really, really fun just getting to know you over the last few years, but to finally have you on the Dirtbags podcast, cool. Episode 108, man.
It was a pleasure being on there, and hopefully we'll do it again, or maybe chasing snow or something like that. Who knows?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. And good luck out there, man, with the Thanks. Snow. Excited to see how all that goes. Excited to follow along.
Yeah,
of course,
they say it's going to be a tough winter, but they've been saying that for like the past 2 years. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I love it, man. Well, and for everyone listening, this is episode number 108. Thank you for making it this far into the episode. And thank you for always listening to the Dirtbags podcast. We will see you on episode number 109. Let's go.
Take care, guys.